and welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome here to the daily news roundup video again. And once again, guys, we are going to be going over today's news in quick fire fashion, and not an awful lot has happened, I have to say, but there are some things that I did want to bring you today, and certainly if I do get the time, I will try to integrate these kind of quick fire videos if there are certain things to bring you. If I have the time, I'll always certainly update you guys. Today we've got news on Rafinha, on Coutinho, on Iniesta, on Jordi Alba, and also on yet another contract renewal. 2 in 2 days, and that is where we're going to start with the official contract renewal of Sergi Roberto. A massive well done to the club for getting this done, getting this sealed, and most importantly, once again, getting that release clause upped, which really does send out a message. Yesterday with Piqué's renewal, his buyout was a very big one, 500 million euros, and Sergi Roberto is exactly the same amount. He has extended his contract until 2022, exactly the same as Gerard Piqué, and both of them with really high release clauses, which is so important in the modern market. Finally, the board seem to be learning from their mistakes. Neymar should not happen again at the club, and the way we're going should not happen in the future. So Roberto, a Barcelona player until 2022, and the important thing again, Barcelona now have not given up. They're still going, they're still looking to make more renewals. Titi is next, and then possibly Jordi Alba after that, on our quest to renew as many players as we can, making sure that everybody has up-to-date deals, they're happy at the club, and again, making sure those release clauses are as high as possible to take everybody out of the grasp of that money that's in football right now. And speaking of the money in football right now, we could be closing in on some of that money ourselves with one of our biggest sales in our history, potentially. And yesterday we spoke about Rafinha. Apparently Inter Milan had issued a sort of ultimatum to Barcelona. They wanted a definitive answer today on the future of Rafinha, whether he would go to Inter or not. And it is very possible that's exactly what happened there, because multiple reports, including Mundo Deportivo and all of the sources close to Barcelona, say that Inter Milan are going to sign Rafinha initially on a loan deal, and at the end of that loan, at the end of the season, if Inter Milan qualify for the Champions League, they will be obliged to pay the clause that has been agreed, 35 million euros plus variables, which could rise to around 38 million with those variables. They will have to pay that should they qualify for the Champions League, which it looks like they're going to as it stands. If Rafinha goes there on loan, they will have that obligatory buyout clause at the end of it to get him on a permanent deal for 35 plus 3 million euros. If this happens, it will actually be the 4th most expensive sale in the history of Barcelona. Obviously Neymar number 1, 222 million euros to go to PSG. Then of course there's Luis Figo going to Real Madrid. Then Alexis Sanchez, 4th on the list if this goes through to Inter Milan, 35 plus 3 potentially. Rafinha would be 4th on the list, and I have to say I didn't personally want to see Rafinha go. I think he's a good player that could certainly be used in a number of different positions than Ernesto Valverde, but I have to say, if this is true, it is a good fee. We don't usually do well in terms of selling players. We never sell players of this amount. That's why the list I just read out to you is very much few and far between, that we sell players for a decent value. Rafinha could be going, and we will be getting quite a substantial fee if it goes through at the end of the season after his loan deal, as is very much expected to be confirmed in the coming hours. Now a few words on Philippe Coutinho and his recovery from injury. Earlier on in the month we mentioned that he's very much on course to return, pretty much on schedule, if not a bit beforehand. He was expected to make his debut possibly at home against Alaves next weekend. Reports in Spain are saying though that he's actually recovering very well indeed, and he could actually make some appearance, or at least be available for selection for that midweek game next week in the return leg of the Copa del Rey against Espanyol. Coutinho's been recovering really well in the past few days and weeks. He's been doing everything he can to get back as quickly as possible, and today he did continue his work with the ball, and he has been doing some advanced training sessions with the ball. He's expected to join up with the group in the next few days for the full training sessions, and after that then it'll just be a process of getting back into the swing of things, and then he should be available for selection very soon after that. So all going well with Coutinho's recovery. But unfortunately, one man's recovery was not quite gone as quickly as planned. Andres Iniesta, according to Cat Radio, who are usually a very reliable source, they say that Iniesta unfortunately has not recovered from his injury in time to make the squad for Real Betis tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see whether that's going to be confirmed tomorrow. I'll mention that, of course, in my preview video, which will be coming out tomorrow. But as of right now, Cat Radio believe Iniesta will not make that squad away at Real Betis on the weekend. We play them on Sunday evening. It's going to be a difficult game there at the Benito Villamarín, and we will not have Iniesta if Cat Radio's report is to be believed. It's not serious. It's not a big injury. He is expected to return if he doesn't make it this weekend for that Espanyol game in the second leg, and that's another game that with a 1-0 down so far in the tie, we're going to need Iniesta and all the help we can get in that return leg. And just before we do end this news roundup video, a very big congratulations to Jordi Alba and his partner, who yesterday they had their first child born on the 18th of January. That would explain why Jordi Alba was not in first team training yesterday, but a big congratulations to him. Obviously he's absolutely delighted with that news, so fantastic for him, very well done, rewarding him for his excellent form this season. And that pretty much concludes today's news roundup video. So thank you as always guys for your unbelievable support. Thank you as always for your comments as well. Please leave your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. What do you think of Coutinho's recovery? When are you expected to see him integrated back in the team? And of course I did do a video earlier on exactly where Coutinho is going to fit under Ernesto Valverde into the Barcelona setup. Betis against Barca, that's on Sunday evening. I'll have the preview coming up for you about tomorrow evening possibly. I will see you then with more videos, but until then, as always, Vasca el Barça! Barça! Barça!